Hello everyone, my name is Zach and welcome to On Cash Flow, where I help you become a master of your own cash flow. Now let's get started. It took me less than 4 years to achieve my first $100,000 of net worth. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm just kidding. Let's talk a little bit more on that. Okay, that statement is true. It did take me less than 4 years, but let's expand a little bit more on that, on how long it took me to achieve my first $100,000. So the year is 1776. The United States, no, I'm just kidding. No, the year is actually 2012, all right, October of 2012 to be exact. And that was the time that I first went into the military. And at that time, I had a net worth of around $0. So thankfully, I didn't have any debt, but I did have a net worth of around $0. So that was my starting point. And then when I reached $100,000, it was after September of 2015, but definitely before June of 2016. Now, here's why I have that little time range there. That's because I didn't actually track my net worth like every single month. Like I didn't actually track my net worth that often. Based on my spreadsheets, my historical data, I have a net worth that basically goes back by 6 months. So that is the data that I have to work with here. So that's why I gave you that little guess of between these two dates. So here's the exact numbers that I had written down at the time. September of 2015, I had a net worth of around $88,000. And then in June of 2016, I had a net worth of $132,000. Now, if I had to guess, let's just average it out. If I had to guess, there's a $44,000 difference in 9 months. So that means it's about $4.9 thousand per month, almost $5,000 per month difference there, okay? So between that, my best guess is that I achieved about $100,000 net worth around December of 2015. So that would be my guess. And if we do extrapolate that, we get 3 years and 2 months. So 3 years and 2 months, that's my best guess of how long it took me to achieve my first $100,000. Now, this isn't my full story, my full journey to financial independence. I did make another video on that. So if you're interested in hearing my entire story of how I achieved financial independence, then definitely check out that video after this. But let's get back onto this video of my first 100K. How much would it take for me to achieve $100,000 in 3 years and 2 months? Because I can guarantee you, I didn't just save that amount of money. No, I was investing the entire time. And so my investments had to do very well in order to get me to $100,000 in 3 years and 2 months. You know, everyone says that the first $100,000 is the hardest 100,000 mark to make. And I would generally agree with that because it's mostly you that's putting in the money, at least initially. The market doesn't actually give you that much compound interest until many, many years. And so it's up to you to save a lot of money if you want to get to 100K. So if I was purely saving up for that $100,000, it would take me $2,632 per month to achieve $100,000 in 3 years and 2 months. All right, that's if you're not making any money on that, if it's not invested, if you're just putting it into a savings account. Now, I can tell you right then and there that I was not saving $2,632 every single month. From that time, I went from a low amount of investments to a higher amount of investing as I learned more about investing. So I wasn't, at this level right then and there, okay? Far from it. What most likely happened was I had a lot of help from the stock market. So the stock market during those times was very, very good to me and very, very good to you if you were investing there during those times as well. Most likely what I had invested was within my thrift savings plan, which is the federal employees or the military's form of a 401k. And maybe I was investing in my Fidelity account at the time. I was using Fidelity, and most likely I was using FSKAX, which is the Fidelity Total Stock Market Index. Here's the steps that I actually took in order to get to my first 100K. But before we move on to that, did you know that you don't even need 100K in order to hit the like button on this video? No matter what part of your financial independence journey you're at right now, please make sure you hit the like if you're enjoying this video so far. It really does help me out, and I would really appreciate that. But let's go on to how I actually did it. Well, it's actually pretty boring, to be honest with you. Nothing crazy happened. I didn't make a really great investment. I didn't win a lottery or anything like that, get a good scratch ticket. No, nothing like that. It's all plain and boring, the slow path to wealth here. When you're in the military, your income and your spending is actually pretty predictable. So your fixed expenses are very low. Your income is very predictable. It's public. You can go look it up right now, how much you're going to get paid in the military, depending on what your rank is. So everything is pretty predictable. And so I used that boringness in order to save a large portion of my income and invest a large portion in my thrift savings plan, into my IRA, and things like that. So I didn't reinvent the wheel. All right. And I didn't even know a fraction of what I know now when it comes to investing and when it comes to saving money and things like that. What did go right there was I had the correct behavior. So I actually made one-time changes that made lifetime lasting effects. By choosing to invest a large percentage of my income into my thrift savings plan, that was a one-time thing that led to results many years down the line. By choosing to have $500 per month come out of my checking account and go into my IRA, that was a one-time thing I had to set up, and then I benefited from it years later. So that is the boring truth of it. Have your investments come out automatically, have them invest into good quality index funds, and you will probably get to your first 100K before you know it. But even beyond that, something that's really fun to look at is how long did it take me to get to my second 100K? How long did it take me to get from 100K to 200K? And I'll tell you right now, it was a lot faster than the first 100K, and it's gonna be the same for you as well. Really quick, I want to know from you in the comments below. Do you know how long it took for you to reach your first 100K? Or how long do you want to reach your first 100K if you haven't yet reached that level? Let's talk about it in the comments below. But going from 100K myself to 200K, it was way faster than the first $100,000. And that's because now my investments are working maybe almost as hard as I was working. So from 100K to 200K, here's my best guess for going to 200K. May of 2017, I have it that I had 200K, which is really crazy for me to believe right now because that was not that long ago. What a short amount of time, like relatively short amount of time, can become something so much more. But anyway, from December of 2015 to May of 2017, we have a time gap of 17 months, which is 1 year and 5 months. So that is crazy because that is less than half the time it took me to get to my first 100K. And you can bet going from 200K to 300K was even faster, and 300 to 400 and 400 to 500. It gets faster and faster and faster as your investments work harder than you do, as your investments earn more than you possibly could. Because if I had to reach that $100,000, that next $100,000 all on my own, that would mean that I had to have saved $5,882 per month for 17 months. And I can guarantee you I was not saving that much money. No, my investments were working for me. Now, if you want to know my full story to financial independence and how I achieved financial independence in my 20s, then please make sure that you watch my other video where I shared my full story. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Zach from OnCashflow.com, and I hope to see you next time.